There are rumors that Chris Evans is in talks to reprise his role of Captain America in the MCU. And for that reason, in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 key comic books for my favorite superhero. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 key comic books that relate to Captain America. Now, I wanted to try something different and do a series with you guys called Key Comic Book Spotlight. And the idea of it being that, I'm going to pick a random superhero or supervillain and just talk about 5 books that are keys within their, storyline or about the character. And a lot of the stuff, is going to be just academic, just pointing out, oh, well, this is their first appearance and it could be information that a lot of you guys already know, but I'll try to mix it up and talk about just books that I find interesting as they relate to their character. And, maybe they can be spec, maybe they can be, just history and academic or whatever. But I thought that this would be a cool series to do, not only just for, week-to-week content, but, this is stuff that could sort of live on throughout the months and throughout the years for people out there who, get into comic book collecting and discover maybe the channel or the series. And just if they want to learn a little bit about their, their favorite superhero or supervillain, and they just sort of want to get their feet wet into, what comic books are the keys and the grails that people pursue when they're fans of these characters. This might be a good, tool for them to utilize just to sort of get an understanding of, what are some of the key books out there. And I thought that it would be great to start off with my favorite superhero, which is Captain America. And not only that, there's talks right now of Chris Evans reprising his role in the MCU. So I thought this would be sort of a fitting character to start the series off. But before I can get into my 5 books, if you guys drop me a like or a comment or subscribe if you're enjoying my content, love interacting with you guys. Let's keep this conversation going. I love hearing about the books that you picked up and superheroes that you guys like. So let's engage. Let's engage online. Drop me a comment down below. All right. With that being said, let us get into my 5 books. And again, this is not like to point out, super unique spec books or keys that nobody has thought of. This is going to be, half academic and half, things that I just sort of think are interesting as they relate to the character. And with everything going on, with Chris Evans, presumably, in talks to return to the MCU, I thought that this would be sort of a fun video to do. All right, with that being said, let me get into my first pick here, and that is going to be Captain America Comics #1, first appearance of Captain America. I mean, what else can you say about this? This is the ultimate grail. So for those who don't know, this is the comic book grail when it comes to Captain America fans. This is Captain America #1, Captain America Comics. And this is the first appearance of his character, written by legendary Jack Kirby. And what is cool about this book is, this is from, the 1940s, I believe it is. So this is the first appearance of Captain America. This is the first appearance of Red Skull. This is the first appearance of Bucky. And unfortunately, though, for a lot of us collectors out there, this is one of those comics that only a very few amount of people will ever be able to get their hands on, because as they dig into the numbers, this is going to be something that you're going to see is off the charts. So if we go in here to the the higher end of the spectrum, we can see the highest grade on the census is a 9.4, and in 2019 of August that sold for $900,000. So if you are wanting to get the very best copy that is known to exist in the comic book world, it's going to run you that $1 million mark. All right, and if we go down here to the bottom end of the spectrum, a 0.5 will run you $40,000. There was a recent sale in March for 2020. And so needless to say, this is not a cheap book, but this is the absolute holy grail when it comes to Captain America fans owning, part of the history. Not only that, I mean, even if you're not a Captain America fan, if you're just a comic book fan, I mean, this is a legendary comic book. So just owning this is an amazing accomplishment for anyone's collection. So that's Captain America Comics #1, first appearance of Captain America, first appearance of Red Skull, and first appearance of Bucky Barnes. All right, let's move on to the other interesting key comic book as it relates to Captain America, and that is going to be Avengers #4, first appearance of Captain America in the Silver Age and Marvel Comics. So this one is really, really cool. For those who don't know, the Avengers, of course, they had their run, in their own book, and in their fourth issue, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, they brought back Captain America from the Ice Age, from being entombed in ice underwater, and they brought him into the Marvel continuity. So for a lot of people, this is sort of that blue chip book that they like to pursue when they're trying to get their hands on a Captain America first appearance. For a lot of people, this is his first appearance as it pertains to at least, Marvel fans. So this is a great Grail book to pursue. And again, even for me, this is something that I, as a huge fan of Captain America, he's my favorite superhero. This is definitely something that I have my heart set on picking up one day if I don't ever get to the point where I can pick up a Captain America comics. Number one, this is definitely a 1A, 1B for me, and that's going to be Avengers number 4. All right, so let's look into the numbers here. At the time of recording this video, you can see there is 9.8 on the census, and that sold for $195,000 in May of 2017. But, if you jump down to the 9.6, recently, December 2020, you see, we're hovering around that $20,000 mark. And then if we go down all the way here to the bottom, a 0.5 is going to run you around $375. So definitely this is something that is within reach for, most people that, are fans of Captain America. If they want to have that Captain America Grail, Avengers number 4, this is the book to have. All right, let's move on now to my next pick here, and that is going to be Captain America 100. Now, what is the significance of this one? This is Captain America in his first solo title with his name, in Marvel Comics at the top. This is the first issue of his, storyline that has gone on through the years. I mean, granted, he did have his storyline going on in a series known as Tales of Suspense, but this was the first time that they decided to, have it be like his own ongoing series. So again, people love this as a sort of a Grail option to own for Captain America fans. This is Captain America 100. This is something that I own. Very, very happy to have owned it. And just look at that cover too. It just presents extremely well. Very, very cool cover. Very, very iconic. So this is just a great prize for people to get their hands on if they're huge fans of Captain America. And as we dig into the numbers here, what makes this comic book so cool compared to, Captain America Comics number 1 and Avengers 4, this one is much more affordable. So if we go to the 9.8s, we see one here in December 2020 that sold for $72.50. So, still in that four-digit range, which, again, nothing to sneeze at. $7,000 is still a lot of money, but this is definitely much more affordable. And then if you go to the low end here, I mean, there are people that find this book, you could find a raw or whatever, even a CGC for like the $100 mark. So very, very reasonable depending on what kind of grade you're going for with this book. A lot of options, so a lot of opportunity for people to get their hands on this book. And for a lot of people, this is the Grail book to get. I mean, it presents really well. It has it's historic in that it's his first series and name that is, within Marvel Comics and Marvel continuity. So a great price to get and one to pursue if you are a fan of Captain America. All right, let's move on to my next book here. And this one is really interesting to me because this is one that I think relates a little bit to what's going on with the news of Chris Evans returning as Captain America. And this one I wanted to kind of highlight, and that is going to be Captain America 337. And what is the significance of this one? Well, there's a couple things here. This is the first appearance of Captain America as a character that was called the Captain. Now, the Captain is a character who later becomes U.S. agent. As you can see here in the cover, he's got the black uniform with the red and black and white stripes with the, the black trim shield. And this was a cover swipe, if you recall, for Avengers 4. As you can see here, the Avengers 4 cover, when he first made his appearance, has this design right here. And for 337, with his, introduction as being the Captain, they kind of brought in, a similar art design with the cover. Additionally, one of the cool things about this one is that it's really, really affordable. Now, on here on the census, you see that a 9.8 sold for $140, but I recently checked eBay and I saw a 9.8 sell for actually $65. So great deal there. And additionally, I've seen this in LCSs many, many times being sold for, $2, $3, $4, $5, because to a lot of people, this is a quote unquote filler run, meaning it didn't really have that much significance. So, if it ever really does pick up and get hot into the market, there are a lot of good deals to be found with this one. And, if you're just just, you know, a fan and a collector, this is one that I think is really, really cool. You know, if you have like a smaller budget to, you know, pick up a great Captain America book, this is one that I think, you know, you can find for really, really, really cheap and find for a great deal. And this one I think is pretty cool as it relates to the MCU because it seems like with Falcon and Winter Soldier, we're getting some sort of storyline that written by, you know, Mark Gruenwald during the 80s, where he sort of had Steve Rogers retire as Captain America and become the captain. And then he had John Walker become the new Captain America and later the US agent. And in Falcon and Winter Soldier, what we're seeing is John Walker playing a role in that. So it's possible to me that if Chris Evans decides to return to the MCU as Captain America, they might do the storyline where he is now known as the Captain, and maybe they have you know, Falcon be the new Captain America, you know, Falcon from Anthony Mackie, or they have Bucky, you know, maybe he's the new Captain America based on what happens with Falcon and Winter Soldier, or John Walker is the new Captain America, and then therefore Chris Evans is the Captain. And if that ends up being the case, I think that this book is really, really exciting because, you know, if I compare it to other things that are, you know, new kind of costume design / new character creation, it sort of reminds me of ASM 252, which for those who don't know, that's the first appearance of Spider-Man taking the black suit that later goes on to become Venom's suit. So what's cool to me is like maybe this one has some growth opportunity to kind of be that ASM 252 where, you know, if Captain America comes back to the MCU as the captain and let's say he wears like a black, you know, uniform, then this book's going to get pretty hot. So, you know, it's pretty cool for that sort of spec reason, but also it's pretty cool because, you know, it's a cover swipe of the classic Avengers #4 and just kind of a cool little moment in Marvel history when Steve Rogers took up the mantle of the captain. All right, let's go on now to my last pick. And my last pick is going to be not a Captain America book, but significant to Captain America, and that's going to be Thor 390. And what is the significance of this one? This is the first time that Captain America picks up Mjolnir. So, you know, as I'm sure all of you guys are aware, we had that moment in Endgame where Chris Evans as Steve Rogers picks up Mjolnir to fight Thanos. Well, this is in comic book continuity. This is the first time that Steve Rogers picked up the Mjolnir hammer, and you know, just a really, really cool moment, really, really great moment. Love the panel design in this too as well. It's a great little story of how it comes about, and really, you know, just ties into the themes of Steve Rogers as a person, which I think is really great. And you know, when you look at that cover on top of it, it's just a really, really classic cover. I mean, it sort of has that kind of Avengers 4 feel with, like, you know, the blocking of all the characters and seeing sort of the Avengers team within a Thor book, which is, you know, helps this book have significance too, because it occurs in a sort of a copper goodness book that is, you know, a mainstream title like Thor. So this one is pretty cool for people who want to get their hands on it. And you know, this one will run you, you know, I see Raws going for sort of the $20, $30 mark, but there are good deals to be had. If you want to get a 9.8, you know, you're looking at that 120 mark here, and then on the low end, there's not even CGC numbers to be had for this book. So anyways, those are the Captain America comic books that I think are interesting as they relate to this character. Again, you know, some of this is just academic, meaning that, you know, we all know that his first appearance is Captain America Comics #1, and his first Silver Age is Avengers #4. It's not really meant to be sort of spec, but just sort of to, you know, give out some information to those who may be watching this and may want to, you know, find out a little bit about their favorite superhero known as Captain America. Anyways, that is all I got for this video. If you guys could drop me a like or comment or subscribe if you're enjoying the content, let me know what you guys think. Do you have any of these Captain America books? Are there other Captain America books that you think are actually really interesting that you are fans of, whether for, you know, emotional reasons or because you think that there's some speculation opportunity within them? All right, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video.